Traffic in New York is retarding downward. Jams are pervasive in Manhattan, particularly in its industry districts. Day traffic in the brisk areas now moves nearly 20% more than slow rather than it did 5 years back. It seems a location mature for broad use of trip-hailing apps how, you might believe, would ease several of the traffic jam. Above the 4 persons year of the research, the quantity of cars in Manhattan searching trip-hailing fares enlarged by 81%. Down there are now on 68,000 trip-sharing drivers through New York town. House on 5 times the quantity of distinguishing amber cabs licensed to work down there, he found. Down there are so lot, his job suggests, how they expend on 45% of their period blank fare cruising for fares. How is a lot of untapped cars hammering a lot of lively gateway. Easy physical science explains why such a excess of trip-sharing vehicles is challenging, not cure, traffic jam, told Jared Goer, a social transportation politics specialist who has informed hundreds of cities on driving human beings. How tool driving human beings of greater vehicles in less ones, that tool more than vehicles to go the identical human beings, thus, more than traffic. Which is precise is how the present position cannot go on, he told, addition, how lot city authorities are acute to precise traffic jam. I believe we are departure to go on to see much stronger regulating interventions to supervise the effect of these companies. Information collected on trip-sharing drivers illustrates how they promote to traffic jam, told Professor Christo Wilson, a machine scholar at Northeast College who has investigated the services. Thou can see at the traffic design for the Uber vehicles and it excellently matches the peaks for the race time and the spike period of date, he told. They are out down there in strength at the lowest probable times. Or, he told, the capacity to arouse a car via a smartphone app has some unexpected ensuing consequences how are as well bulge the jams. It is growing the full quantity of trips and these are discretionary trips how these human beings would not include undertaken if not for inexpensive, accessible trip sharing, told Professor Wilson. As, how is nearly surely growing traffic jam. For their portion, trip-sharing firms controversy the complaint how they are the major reason of hammering the gateway in the brisk cities. Traffic jam is a very complex question, told Andrew Salzberg, chief of Uber's transportation politics. He says some factors at act involve economical increase, way building and the policies cities enter to streamline traffic. This quantity of drivers we include on the way is one of the simplest things to action and how frequently becomes the focus spot of the talk, he told. Or, he sharpened of, he's not fair taxis and individual car owners who are disappointed while they are jammed in immobile traffic. We don't win as a business of overloaded facility, he told. Way facility how do it unfeasible for human beings to get about are not nice for our industry. Mr. Salzberg told it was as well a error to believe how Uber and some trip-sharing firms wish to substitute social transportation. We include go out lot times and told, in the mandrel of tight cities, down there is no more than effective way to go human beings about rather than social transportation, he told. The nursing of both of trip-sharing services and social transportation include an enormous opportunity to increase significantly if human beings can be convinced to do off in their own cars, told Mr. Salzberg. Hopeful them to use buses, trams and trains as so as trip-hailing firms could easy traffic. The issue is how to do it. For Uber, told Mr. Salzberg, way pricing is one nice attitude. As in London's traffic jam accusation the would fee charges on human beings who driving themselves to an internal city purpose in their own vehicle. Near the, he told, would go association schemes how couple social transportation and trip sharing. One such a sample of the was already operational in and about Innisfil in Ontario. The uses Uber cars to supply human beings of their homes to center points wherever they later capture buses and trams to achieve the center of Toronto. Innisfil's regional credibility as well subsidizes Uber fares to provide the framework is appealing to such sections of the people who characteristically don't own a vehicle, he told. Down there is a certain requirement to supervise the changes how are vibrating via cities as trip sharing and independent cars evolve and ripe, told Carlo Ratti, a prof of city technologies at MIT, Massachusetts Institution of Technique. In 2014, Professor Ratti shown how clever route and vehicle pooling could cut the sum of traffic necessary to go human beings about cities by 80%. He stands by how forecast present but told job had to be made to suit the effect of such changes. Professor Ratti told teaching had shown it would be fatal to just replace our current framework of top private car property for one in that all owns a robotic car how follows them about. Enlarged contamination, jam, a large growth in city stretch out and enormous impacts on the transportation production would be the results if how script play out untested, he told. It is mandatory how we type these new technologies in a crucial eye, and manual them in the direction the public goals we wish, he told. If we can supervise the transfer in a pensive path, personality driving cars could assist us reach a more secure and more than enjoyable city expertise.